are listening to The Ed and Tom Show.
Spoiler alert. Ed, you may not know this about me, but sometimes I guess I can become an asshole.
You're always an asshole.
Nothing's showing up on the Google.
Fuck, we still gotta spin the fucking wheel.
Don't pester me right now. This is why you're a fucking asshole.
Drugs, alcohol, and domestic violence.
Stress is bad. Goddamn cancer cans.
Boom.
The Ed and Tom Show. There it is.
That's the end.
A little premature ejaculation there by Eddie Rock. I'm Tommy T.
Eddie Rock.
It's only the second time we've heard that song, so
Well.
give us a break.
I didn't really give a shit that much. How you been, man?
Awesome. Happy Memorial Day to you.
You as well. Before we kick this show off, we got something that we got to get going real quickly here to get this going. Why fuck around? Let's go straight into high gear. Last night, I was sitting at home with my wife, and we decided that we were going to have some pizza, the kids, do the movies, and things like that. So as we did this, we just got some cheap pizzas to throw in the oven. And Kate said, hey, I'll grab a Hawaiian, and then we'll get a jalapeno, cut that thing up, and throw it on top.
A fiery Hawaiian.
Jesus Christ, Tom, I'm telling you, this fucking jalapeno was so goddamn hot. It lit my face on fire. And I'm talking, I had like a little tiny, teeny, tiny piece, right? Mm-hmm. So I kicked the rest of it off my plate. And just from where it had touched my pizza, that shit was hot. I sent you a text explaining exactly how hot this was.
Calling you a pussy.
And you basically called me a pussy and said, it's just a fucking jalapeno. I said, well, then I fucking dare you to eat one, you big mouth motherfucker. And what'd you say?
I said, oh, it's just a fucking jalapeno.
So, in the studio right now, live with us, because like you mentioned, this is Memorial Day weekend, and we're here with Kate, the great, Sharizzle.
Sharizzle, my whizzle.
The big step tizzle. And we got baby Ty-Ty.
Ty-Ty.
All here wanting to see you put your money where your mouth is. Not that there's any money involved.
No, just my mouth and a...
Basically, we just want to watch you eat this goddamn jalapeno. Now, show the people what you're about to take.
Yeah, I didn't know the size of what I was about to take, but this little guy...
That's one of them little...
It's just in perspective.
That's all right.
Jesus Christ, it's the size of my hand.
So this particular jalapeno wasn't just created out of the dirt. They actually took Satan's shit and they made compost out of it. And they used that compost to, it's all right. One of our bitches is whining, and I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's Callie, but it could be Kate.
Buster is? What a bitch.
Let Buster in. We got Busty Bus here too. Just hopefully they don't start fighting.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm telling you, the G-spot's popping. So Tom, what are your thoughts going into this jalapeno?
If I knew the size of the jalapeno, I probably would have not said, well, fuck it. But now I've seen it, and it's...
So is it the size, or you're not scared at all about the intensity? It's just now the volume.
No, well, it's a little the intensity and then the volume of the intensity.
It's intense. So why don't we count this down? I got a lot of people here in the studio with me, so you guys want to count it down from like maybe 4?
Yeah.
All right, so let's start. Here we go. 4.
This shit's gonna have
3,
nuts in it.
2, 1. Go ahead, Tommy. Rip on into that bad motherfucker, you beast. Yeah, you bad motherfucker. Now, while he's doing this, I want people to realize Kate got this on her fingers last night, and she rubbed her nose, and for like 2 hours, her nose hurt. So, what's your initial feedback?
So far, it's just like a really fucking hot bell pepper.
Okay. So it looks like it's going well. It looks like it's going well for you.
A lot of seeds.
Oh, that was one of the things that he had said was, hey, can I cut the seeds out of this thing before I eat it? And I said, I just don't know that that's part of the challenge. It was just kind of you take the jalapeno as is. Now, Tom does have some medical conditions like an upper GI issue, like maybe some, what do you call that, like an ulcer? You're basically like the fat guy from Dumb and Dumber right now.
A lot of pain.
You're in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that PBR helping?
I haven't even touched it yet.
The hiccups are here.
Yeah, hiccups are here.
So, why don't you eat up and we'll talk about it?
My soul is sweating.
So,
I'm afraid. I'm almost afraid to drink this. It might be a little hot.
I want to watch the steam.
Want some milk, Tom? Oh, God.
Do we have the milk on standby?
No, it's downstairs.
I don't think the milk will help.
You don't think the milk? You got about a quarter of the jalapeno left there.
Oh boy.
Let's finish it up before we get worried about putting out the fire.
The beer made it worse. The beer made it worse.
Tom, my fingers are still on fire from cutting it up today.
That's Kate talking about her fingers still hurting from cutting it today. Yeah, Tom, you're taking it like a man. You're taking it like. No, you're just holding water in your mouth. Go finish that up real quick.
Hey, fuck you.
We want to get on to the rest of. We got other topics for the people that are just listening to this at home. They're not going to want
That's
to.
a fucking lot of seeds.
Don't rub your eyes.
It's not the seeds. They're just fun.
Says the guy not chewing on them.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have fucking eat that thing. That's hot. You think we eat one of them goddamn jalapenos and that bitch looks hot?
Let Tyler take a bite.
Oh yeah, Tyler wanted to take. You want to sample it, Ty? Yeah. There you go. Get him in there, like father, like son.
Just don't touch your face.
So for the weekend, we.
God,
Oh, you let that rub all on your lips.
Oh.
Oh. Too easy. No challenge there, is there? Now, I have also accepted a challenge, unbeknownst to many people here. But because you're doing this, you all right, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, fuck.
I don't ever just leave you out there, do I, Tom?
You do many times.
Do I ever just leave you out there, make you do something and I don't do something? I always do something, don't I?
Most of it.
All right. So for our listeners at home, I have a chocolate dipped cookie here that was dipped in chocolate with white chocolate on it, and I'm gonna attempt to eat some of this.
In one bite.
In
And then it hit the ground.
one bite, I'm gonna try to eat some of this.
Fuck you.
Want me to eat the rest?
Oh God, this is really
Eat
sweet.
the rest of it for you, fam. It's all right.
It's so
I'll
sweet.
eat the rest of it.
Oh my God, Tom.
I can't imagine it being easy.
No seed left behind.
Is
He
that
did it.
enough?
That's good. He did it.
Good job.
Just a jalapeno.
It was just a fucking jalapeno. It was a fucking huge jalapeno.
That was a big one. Now, do you think it's not necessarily? I mean, right now is obviously one of the problems, but tomorrow is going to be a whole nother set of problems. Between now and the time that those seeds come firing out your ass like a salad
That's
shooter,
why I didn't want the seeds.
is there going to be pain in the middle time, like tonight while you're trying to sleep? Mm-hmm. So you're now enduring this until it exits your body.
Tom,
Yeah.
You want milk? I can bring you some milk.
Please.
Now, remember what we talked about. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, boy.
Well, what we had talked about,
This wasn't enough.
huh?
This wasn't enough.
What we had talked about was giving you some lukewarm almond milk to drink
We
out
can-
of the
we can
carton.
talk about that, but I'm not going to do that.
All right. So, now that we're done with this, let's talk about this week. What'd you do this week?
Oh, man. So we went to Bellows,
Yeah.
one of our favorite beaches on the damn island. Thank you, Sheree, for sticking around and documenting this for us.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye, Rizzle. They'll be back with your milk.
Oh, God.
You all right? That was good. You did really good with that. What about me though? I mean, did you see me eat that cookie?
Fuck you and your cookie. You're still there. You haven't even finished it.
It's really sweet. I don't want like diabetes. I'm watching my calories here, Tom. I can't just go eating a goddamn chocolate covered cookie. What would Ryan think?
Ryan. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No.
Ryan. Who fuck's Ryan?
Ryan. What's his name? Why is it failing me on Twitter?
Hubbard. Oh.
Yeah. What would Ryan Hubbard think if he sees me over here fucking stuffing my face with cookies? I'd disappoint the guy. I can't do that. People I'm loyal to, Tom.
Fuck you. You're an ass clown.
So we're out there at Bellows yesterday.
Saturday.
Had an absolute blast.
It was fucking awesome.
This is one of those places, and we've mentioned this before. The perfect beach, the absolute perfect beach. Water, color, temperature, everything perfect. However, this particular day there was like a algae bloom that had happened. So most of the water was exactly what you had pictured, but the water that we were playing in was like neon green.
Yeah, and somehow the rumor got thrown around that it was shark deterrent.
So
Is
stupid.
that big weekend's coming. We got to flood the water with shark deterrent. I was like, oh, really? But
Stupid.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a bunch of algae because they did have a big storm off the coast a couple days before. So
Algae blooms happen. I have heard of large bodies of water being dyed for specific events, and the one that I can think of is Chicago for St. Patrick's Day. They dye the river green.
Yeah. And then there's a big fountain in Kansas, I believe in Kansas, that
What are they doing?
I don't know. Tyler's got milk on his face.
And the dog's looking. Look, he's trying to stay off
The camera. Who cares?
Tom, I just wet this.
It's our show.
Thank you.
Just shit's flying everywhere.
There we go.
And I put ice in the milk to make it
Thank you.
colder.
I love you so much, Kate.
Love you guys. Bye.
Later, babe. So while we were out there, we decided to play a little fun game. You know, you're playing where everybody's throwing the baseball or the wiffle ball, and we had a
my God.
football, and everybody's having a good time. We have dinner, and I decided to go down to the beach and take a nap and just kind of enjoy the waves because there was a campground that we had as well, or a camp spot. Everybody comes down and says, "We're going to play a game of wiffle ball," and so we played wiffle ball. I think it was 5-on-5. Close to that.
About 5-on-5 or 6-on-6, whatever.
Yeah. And home plate was up on the beach. Second base was actually in the water.
In the water.
where the waves break. So if you played outfield, there was a good chance that you were diving into the water to make the play, which happened multiple times.
Many times.
Now, when I thought that we were going to play this game, I was like, oh, this will be fun. Everybody will get a couple bats and we'll get
We played 9 fucking innings.
9 goddamn innings of fucking wiffle ball. Who plays 9 goddamn innings of wiffle ball?
We did, because it was awesome.
9 goddamn innings of wiffle ball. Which was awesome.
My first at bat, home run.
Boom.
Yard! I have to apologize. I'm going to make some weird noises throughout this thing with this beast that's inside my gullet right now. Yeah, so I apologize for any noises
You have
that might come out of me.
You have Satan's seed in your chesticles.
Bite and I'm dying.
Yeah, Tyler's in pain, and he just had a nibble.
I'm telling you, I took that shit off my pizza, and my pizza was still hot.
Oh, you're still a fucking pussy.
Yeah, I am in a lot of ways. But I tell you, I wasn't.
You hit a home run as well.
Maybe I think I
You and
cheated though.
You did cheat?
Well, I don't know. I just kind of kept running. But it wasn't my hitting. It wasn't my hitting that I was proud of. It was my fielding that I was proud of.
You were a fucking golden glove out there.
I was a monster into those
stop
waves.
hitting it to Ed.
It was so fun though. It was a small diamond. All the kids played. So
it
we
was
had
awesome.
the girls were there, the wives were there, the guys were there. It was a lot of fun. So.
And I mean, we fucking closed the park down. Basically, we were there. We got there about noon, lunchtime, and it was pitch black when we left. That was.
We swam for probably an hour in the dark.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Because towards the evening, that green went away, so the water returned to what it was supposed to be. And then the waves ended up being nice. They were actually pretty good. They were like 5 to 7 feet tall, maybe at times. And so it was perfect for body surfing, for boogie boarding, and doing it just in chest to waist deep water. So it was an absolute perfect day.
Absolutely no rocks in the water.
No, that's the sand of grated baby skin, where they dry the baby skin and grate it.
Perfectly grated sand made of baby skin and bones.
So anybody that's listening to this that comes out to visit us here on Oahu, make sure that we take you out to Bellows.
Yeah.
And I know we'll be doing that we've been talking about all the things that we're going to do during the FIB Fantasy Draft weekend. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of beach trip in there, but I know we have the draft and I know we have golf, and both of those are going to take up the majority of their individual
That last
day.
weekend, yeah.
Right. So the days that we have going up to that, we need to figure out how we're going to get everybody together. But we were out there. It was me, you, Dale was there, John was there, Will was there, Tyler was there. So, I mean, we had a large...
We had a large FIB showing, and it
at
was
the Bellows.
awesome.
So then we just kind of... How late did you guys end up staying? Because me and Katie ended
We
up
left
bouncing
right
out.
after you guys.
Did you?
Yeah, Sheree lost her phone. I think you guys were
Yeah.
still there, and Alyssa ended up having it. But I think we were pretty much right behind you. We had
Okay.
to pack some things around because
Yeah.
we only had 5 seat belts and 6 people.
Huh. Good math.
So Tyler rode in the back of the RAV4, buried him.
Ghetto sledding him.
Yeah, we crossed him. We got him across the border,
Nice.
so it was nice.
That's all that's important. So, any other exciting? Oh, so have I mentioned that I've started playing softball? I'm like in a softball league now.
You've mentioned it to me, but the listeners and viewers do not know.
So I generally do not play sports as an older person because of the fact that I fear injury more than just about anything.
Yeah.
You know, it only takes one knee when you're hitting 40. You know, lose an ACL or an MCL, and you could have yourself a long
A long road to toe after that.
recovery.
It's like my hip surgery. I'm back to running, but I am no longer allowed to run more than 2 miles.
You've just you've just lost your explosiveness.
Yeah.
You know, the combine, they were talking about that at the combine.
Yeah,
You just
my-
had lost a step, and
I've lost a step. Still worth a first round pick, but I've lost a step.
yeah, maybe first round pick. What draft are we talking about?
The NBA draft.
The NBA draft. Well, speaking of the NBA draft, it should be coming up sooner than it was
Yes.
yesterday because we have moved closer to the NBA Finals and now know who the 2 teams are that are going to the Finals.
God damn it.
And it is, I don't want to say anything, but it just happens to be exactly as I predicted.
Yeah. Everything is right in the basketball world when the number 1 seeds from both conferences advance to the finals, and that just so happens to be what has happened.
Although it was not
fucking easy for Golden State.
It was Golden State, but it was not a golden brick road to get him there.
No. Golden Brick Road.
You like that?
No.
No?
It's Yellow Brick Road,
But they were Golden State.
California.
Right. So, get where I went?
Golden Brick Road.
Either
Oh, I
way,
see what you did.
Game 7.
They beat the Seattle team, Emerald City. There were so many loops.
I
you
tied
could've
it all
taken
together. So, Game 7, first 3 quarters, they're in it, but they're kind of like trailing.
OKC goes up by like 13, 14 or something, but at some point of the game, it's leading by 6 at halftime.
Yep.
And it just felt like one of those games where OKC was just going to just control it the whole time. And then the third quarter happened, and
then the third quarter, the 3-pointers, and I don't know anymore.
it's
3
like
references.
Steph had 31 points before he stepped foot on the free throw line.
Yeah, and he ended up with 30.
Almost 40?
Yeah, 38, 36, 38.
Yeah, it was almost 40 points, if not 40. Jesus Christ.
Awesome game. The most impressive part, though, to me, and I know that I'm not the most astute of basketball fans, but the release of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
It is ridiculous.
There is 7-foot dudes jumping in their face, and they just grab the ball, and it doesn't even, like, the amount of time that they hold it to the time it releases is just fractional.
Yeah.
And it's always dead on. It's never, if I just grabbed the ball and threw it like that from like 10 feet away, I would probably hit the rim 8 out of 10 times. I would say it's probably 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
If you just threw me the ball at the free throw line, I had to turn and shoot
Yeah.
8 out of 10 times. This
He probably
motherfucker's
just hit it, yeah.
sinking them.
He's not hitting the rim at all.
No, he's not
just
hitting the rim.
Going, pew, nothing but net.
Consistently hit shots that I've never thrown a basket through that pure. And the guy does it all the time. It's
Him
amazing.
and Klay Thompson, they both have that 3-point shot where they don't even need to follow through with their dominant shooting hand.
No.
It's like, It's almost Sean Marion-like, but Sean Marion's, all his shots were just like chest shots.
Right.
But he did not have the accuracy that these stone cold murderers have.
And unfortunately, Brian Westbrook, great guy. KD, Russell. KD, great guys. Will continue to do great things for a long time in this league, but their season is over. And now we have game 1 kicking off on Thursday. I believe it's Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Which will be the Cavs and Golden State in Golden State.
Go West.
Game 1.
Go West.
So is that what you're pulling Golden State?
Definitely pulling for Golden State. I never go for the Eastern. The only time I'll go for the Eastern Conference team is if San Antonio or the Los Angeles Lakers are playing.
So when we made our predictions for the NBA playoffs, did I pick a team to win, or did I just pick?
You said Golden State.
Did I say Golden State will win it all? Okay.
And I said OKC was going to win it all. We were in agreement that it was the West. Mm-hmm. You picked OKC, and I picked OKC. You picked Golden State.
I'm just excited to watch it, though. I mean, these are the guys. Steph Curry, the Splash Brothers, and what they've done all season. Yeah. LeBron James being the greatest player in the game right now. Coming to a head, you got Love there, you got Shumpert with his
J.R. Smith,
the fucked up kid and play haircut.
Kyrie Irving,
that's the other one I meant. The big 3 there. Yeah. So the finals will be awesome.
Was it Uncle Drew? Grandpa Drew? What do they call Uncle Drew? Yeah.
It sounds creepy.
The sound of pop culture behind us.
There we go.
So
we mentioned that Tyler was here, but he's just kind of sticking around. He's got some stuff he wants to talk about a little bit later, and
get off his chest.
The little confession. Do you hear my confession?
But no. One more thing about NBA. And it can't be. We can't go unsaid. We don't love the East. I absolutely despise all teams from the East. It's just there's no competition out there. There's onesies and twosies, yeah, but LeBron James, this is his 6th consecutive finals appearance. He's only won 2 of them, but 6 consecutive. He has played more basketball than I think anybody in the history of NBA. It's ridiculous.
What do you mean he's played more basketball?
I'm just he has not, but I mean his seasons are so longer. Prolonged. I mean, he's going to the playoffs no matter what team he's on.
Right.
No matter where he's at, he's going to be in the playoffs. 6 years in a row in the finals.
Now
that's a lot of fucking basketball.
And again, I say this, I'm not the most astute when it comes to basketball and the inner workings and the politics behind it. Is that because obviously he's great?
Yes.
But is it because that they are taking him someplace where they can build that team around him? Or does he have enough control over his own destiny that he says, I'm coming here, I'm great, and you're going to build this team around me?
See, his first stint in Cleveland, it was not like that. It was pretty much, it was LeBron and then 5 other dudes. They would not put. They had Ilgauskas.
Isn't that where he drafted to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had Ilgauskas. He had Ilgauskas. He had Anderson Varejao. Excuse me. Sorry, Brent. Fucking Nazi. You probably didn't know his name. Anderson Varejao, Sideshow Bob, who is now Golden State. He had him. He's had onesies and twosies that have come through Cleveland that never really helped out. So then
he goes to Miami.
Took his talents to South Beach.
And that's a totally different monster.
Yeah, that was 3 dudes that said, we are coming together to win champions. And Miami was just, all right, we're just going to sign your checks.
I know, and that's a unique. That's unique in the fact that here's 3 guys that were on different teams that came together and basically said, "Look, let's all go here," like almost as a business deal. We think about the front office doing the business deal. We think about the players being teammates and playing. We don't necessarily think about the players getting together and making a side deal, saying, "Hey, let's all star up this bitch in Miami and get us a couple rings, and then we'll go our own ways here in 3 or 4 years."
Not 1. Not 2.
How many?
Not 3.
What?
They only got 2.
They got 3.
They got 2.
2?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because they lost. They lost.
They lost to Dallas, and then they lost to San Antonio.
San Antonio, that was the other one. So, no, fun. I told you while we were watching today, I wish that the NBA finals were starting over, or the NBA playoffs were starting over again, because these playoffs have been so fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it was spot on. The only way they could have been better is if they could have thrown more competition at Cleveland in the East.
Yeah, just kind of stretch that out and tire them.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of rest for King James and Kevin Love and those guys to come off of the.
And they need it.
Yeah.
They need it too, because holy shit, it's just going to be a myriad of 3-point shots.
150 3-point shots over under
For
the series.
For the series?
Yeah.
Over.
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say over.
I
for
told
the
Tyler it was
series.
going to be close to 200.
Yeah, I say over.
Attempts.
150. Yeah, attempts. Yeah.
Yeah, probably 100
Definitely.
made.
Jesus, that's a lot of fucking people.
That's going to be a lot of rain, though. I mean, if you just watching those two teams play, that's a lot of rain.
Yeah.
But all right, UFC 199 is coming up in
This
about-
Saturday.
This I thought there was
June
one more.
4th.
Yeah, June 4th. There you go. So what,
There was a fight night last night. I didn't watch it. It was a kind of a garbage card. Nothing really came out of it. Nothing noteworthy to even whisper about.
Yeah, I was too busy doing other shit last night.
Last night, I don't even remember what I did. What did we do last night?
I didn't do anything with you.
Oh, me and Shree went on date night.
Yeah,
I'll talk about what we did when we get there.
Yeah, I had one of your fucking kids here annoying the shit out of me all night. Alyssa stayed the night. No, they were great. She did stay the night. They stayed upstairs, and we told them it was actually a prerequisite that they agreed to prior to her coming over. That at a certain point, when we got annoyed with them, they had to go upstairs, and there wasn't shit they could do about it.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
that went down.
But yeah, so UFC 199 this Saturday. I will be watching it, just don't know where, if it'll be at my place. I haven't done any planning with it whatsoever. This has been a fucking whirlwind of a weekend. So this is probably the longest you and I have sat down
Yeah.
to do this show. So
Which this show's even kind of off its cuff because we did want to spend time with our friends and family over the weekend. We didn't want to be slaves to just this, but we both had a hellaciously busy last week.
God, yeah.
And this next week coming up isn't a whole lot better. So this show kind of is getting thrown here in the middle of it. Still a piss poor quality production that you would always come to expect.
why would it get any better?
Right, it's definitely not going to get any better, but it's going to be.
I gotta stop drinking this milk. I think it's curdling in my
Yeah,
stomach.
gee, she brought you fucking a 1 liter of milk.
It did help though. I didn't think it would help. It helped.
But like we said, Weidman's out for this fight.
Neck injury. He is out. Bisbing Rockhold 2. Rockhold, I think, thoroughly kicks the shit out of the count. So.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that one.
But we will talk about it in length next show.
I'm sure. A friend of mine
A friend of yours
that I have met,
you have met.
that I've spent time with, has announced some retirement.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Chris Berman is a guy. He's out there on Sports Center.
And you've hung out with him.
I met him. I've hung out with him.
How'd you
I got
meet him?
pictures. A few years ago, Kate and I went to the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
He does do that.
He was there, and I got an opportunity to go under the ropes during the Pro-Am, during the tournament, and go out on the 18th green at Pebble Beach while they were doing there was $250,000 that was up for
You were
charity.
fully clothed and you were not being chased by security
I
guards.
was not.
Okay.
I was not. Went under the ropes, out onto the 18th green as they were doing a putt-off for the $250,000 that was going to charity. And all the celebrities were out there, and everybody was yelling and screaming, and Ray Romano was acting like an asshole. Chris Berman was there, my buddies. And I
Good
said,
pals.
yeah, my comrades. So I said, hey, Chris, he actually came up to me. He's like, hey, Ed, do you mind if I get a photo with you? My daughter would really love it. And I said, yeah, I'll take a picture. So, we snapped one. And something you might not
such an
know.
idiot.
You might not know about Chris Berman. That dude is a fucking giant.
Oh, yeah.
He's enormous.
He doesn't look like much sitting behind the desk, but if you you look at him and you look at his shoulders, how broad his shoulders are, it's like, there's no way he's 4 foot tall.
The top of my head came to his shoulder.
The dude is ginormous.
He's an entire head taller than I was. And he was wearing like a big hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, but rumbling, bumbling, fumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way.
Back.
He's retiring.
Retiring, hanging it up after 16 years with ESPN. He will finish this NFL season,
Okay.
and then he's just done.
Which
you know
is-
how old he is?
How old?
61.
Good. Good. You know, John Tyler mentioned Madden earlier. And, you know, towards the end, Madden, he wasn't senile, but he wasn't the strong stud of the black hole and the Raider days that we remembered. Things weren't making sense. I mean, Saturday Night Live was really starting to dig into him. So was
Frank Caliendo.
Frank Caliendo.
He does such a great Madden impression. There's nobody that can touch it. It's
on
awesome.
Fox.
Yeah.
And so it was great to see that legend get out of there before we saw him deteriorate anymore. I think that Chris Berman's another example of a great commentator, and I'm glad he's walking away before it's too late.
Yeah, and it's just like and every announcer out there is going to have his moments where he fumbles, stumbles, bumbles, whatever, says maybe something that he believes to be true that is not. Like the last podcast last week, I said that no team had ever come back from 3-1 in a conference finals game.
Right.
I misspoken. I believe that was true. I was wrong.
So you're a fucking liar.
I'm a fucking liar.
All these people. There's been 6 people running around the nation all week.
I was partly right. Nobody has done that in the Western Conference Finals until this year, until today, when
Right. Golden State did it.
3 times before it has been done in the Eastern Conference Finals.
3-1s, being down 3-1 in anything, obviously. But,
Anything, yeah.
But what kind of teamwork, what kind of spirit does it take to come back? You know, like how far do you really have to dig to be able to come back and tell yourself, we're gonna win this shit?
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that, how about them fuckers sitting in the OKC locker room right now saying,
How did we fucking let them?
how do we do this? How do we blow this?
And do you think it really matters at the NBA level? It's like, well, it was Steph Curry.
I don't think so.
Well, it was Klay Thompson.
Because-
did you see who we played?
Most of those guys they don't look at other people like, wow, he's a god.
Yeah.
They're all looking at themselves as they're the god.
Yeah.
You know,
we fucking beat them.
Right.
We're better than them.
no.
I mean, yeah, there's no way Russell Westbrook's going like, well, it was Steph Curry.
Right. Especially Westbrook.
He's guaranteed he's not doing that. Did you see him yelling at Roberson?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You scared to
Roberson,
scared to take a shot.
Oh, throws it to him wide open. Yeah, it's not like I'm throwing it to you because I want you to throw it again.
No, he Jackie Mooned it. I'm not ready yet. Not yet. Give it. Not yet.
Fucking Roberson, man.
So what's this other news story you have here?
Oh, Keenan Reynolds. If you don't know who Keenan Reynolds is, this is a good story here. Keenan Reynolds was a quarterback for the Navy's football team.
Yep.
He graduated from the Naval Academy this weekend, I believe, or last weekend, I can't remember. Not important. He graduated. And with that comes a military obligation. But he was drafted as a wide receiver by the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
He was he was allowed to defer his military obligation to go play football for the Ravens.
Nice.
So a feel-good story there. I know in the past there has been dudes where that has not been the case. They've had to wait until their military time was done before they could go and play for their NFL team.
So the last one I kind of remember, the Admiral, David Robinson. Did he serve or did he go straight into the NBA?
I'm pretty sure he went straight into the NBA.
That's
I'm
what I
not
think.
100% on that. But there was also a linebacker that got drafted out of Army to go play for the Lions, and he was not released.
Oh, really?
So he came back, and by the time he was done with the military, and he came and played for the Lions. Yeah, I don't think he played, but maybe a year.
The what's that? U.S. Army stands for Uncle Sam ain't released me yet.
Yeah.
So that's them dudes. Hey, I'd really like to go play football. Oh, okay, good. And it's probably easier now as opposed to when we were in the middle of 2 wars.
Yeah,
I mean, now you could probably get that. Where the guy that you were talking about, I don't know when that was, but He may have been.
This was probably 6 years ago. I
So
think.
right in the middle, like stop loss time.
Yeah.
Time. That was a stupid word. Time. Sound like a fucking moron talking. Goddamn.
So you
I'm
just
all
got
hopped up on sugar.
Fuck you. You just got a glimpse of what we hear all the time.
Is that what it is? Me being stupid?
Yeah.
That's why I don't listen to it. Speaking of stupid, I do.
Stupid.
So
It is stupid.
you hear about the shit that went down in Cincinnati this week?
Cincinnati, what are you talking about?
WKRP in Cincinnati. The zoo. So Cincinnati
Oh,
Zoo.
I heard about something like that.
So check this out. This mom and her son, like, I think their family, they were at the zoo, and they're checking it out. And they had this exhibit, the gorilla exhibit, and they have these lowland gorillas in there. I think they had like 8 of them. And mom's hanging out with kid, and kid says, "Oh, I'd like to go into the gorillas, to go fucking hang out with Gilbert Gorilla or whatever." and mom's like, haha, and she like turns around, and all of a sudden there's a splash, and everybody freaks out. Well, Junior climbed under, he like climbed through a fence and through some bushes, through another fence, and then fell down into this lagoon area inside the gorilla enclosure. So everybody starts yelling. Well, one of the gorillas is like, "What the fuck's going on over there?" And he's like, "That motherfucker don't look, I don't think he's supposed to be in here." So the gorilla goes over there.
Ain't got no hair.
He ain't got no hair. So that's one of them white apes. So he goes over and he like grabs the kid and he stands the kid up and actually like pulls the kid's pants up and is like, you know, fixing him and like, "Okay, you're good."
Really?
And so everybody starts cheering. Like, ah. The gorilla gets frustrated and like,
Because of the screaming?
yeah. Okay. And then like snatches the kid by his foot and starts like dragging him through the water. And then like the kid like tries to get away and like backs into a corner, and the gorilla like covers him with his body, and then like the kid like tries to get away and the gorilla like holds him really super tight. And so this is all going on, and then every time like the crowd reacts, the gorilla would do something different, to the point that he finally like carried him up on top of the enclosure, and this kid was fucked. This kid was gonna die.
Oh my God.
And so they had to make a choice. And so, you know, they would normally like tranquilize the gorilla, but the gorilla actually had his hands on the child at this time. So they said, if we shoot him with this dart, we might piss him off, and he just decides to squeeze the kid by the time the trank reaches his body. So they shot and killed the gorilla.
God damn.
So they shot this gorilla's name. I can't remember his name. I'll find it here in a second.
Dead?
Yeah, his name is Dead.
Damn.
It had a weird name.
That is crazy, man.
So everybody's flipping out, right? Because one, people were like, you should have been able to do something other than fucking shoot this gorilla. And so everybody's blaming the parents. And then everybody's blaming the zoo because they should have been able to do something other than shoot this gorilla. And the zoo's like, look, we had to save the kid's life. Obviously, the human life was more important than the gorilla life. And so they went ahead and did that. Then now people are calling for, this is why we shouldn't have zoos. This is
Jesus Christ, people.
shit happens. I don't know. One of Kate's friends, and I'm not going to mention their name. I don't think that they listen to this, but one of her friends doesn't have any kids, right? But is a huge animal lover, and started to go on this tirade about people should watch their kids, and this is why we shouldn't have zoos, and this is why people da 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 da. You don't understand how little amount of time it takes to look away and to have a child do something.
Exactly.
This is a travesty.
Mm-hmm.
They've had this enclosure up because that's the next thing. Well, obviously if this kid could get through there, it wasn't safe. Well, this enclosure's been going since like 76 or some. It's been a long time. And
So the odds were in favor of this kid fucking dying.
well, what I'm
I mean, you know what I mean? That's a lot of years for nothing to happen.
right.
And now that this one incident happens, shut down all the zoos.
Yeah, shut down
That's
everything.
ridiculous.
You know things are going to happen. Remember that lady got her fucking face ripped off by a lion last week.
Yeah.
But it goes to, you know, zoos and the captivity of animals, and whether you agree with that or not. You put these animals in this cage, and then now you drop something in their cage, and they get killed because of it. That's a way to look at it,
Yeah.
right? Like what this gorilla, gorillas are generally peaceful animals. You know, they're vegetarians. They eat leaves and shit. They're not like chimps. Chimps are crazy.
Chimps eat each other.
Yeah, chimps are fucking crazy.
Chimps are oh my God, people say, oh look, let's have a chimpanzee. No, you don't want a fucking chimpanzee. They will eat you.
But gorillas just chill.
Yeah.
You know, fucking hang out, whatever. Even though they might be big and like 600-800 pounds or some shit like that. So my question comes to this: okay, this kid died. What are your initial thoughts and reactions to this situation down in Cincinnati? Like in the whole thing, like when it comes to zoos, when it comes to animals being in captivity.
Well,
I want to hear what Tommy's point
when
of view
I first heard of this, Cherie told me about it, and I was like, well, where were the parents? I was like, instantly was like, well, this kid by himself, did he run off or something? My wife's like, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was multiple kids. Parent looked away, kid went ape shit, no pun intended. So I was like, okay, well, shit happens like that. Okay. Gets in there. Now you got to take what you have to know that, okay, this is a wild animal. Regardless if we got him in the zoo or not, it's still got to be treated as a wild animal. That you've now introduced a foreign object into his habitat, whether it's in the Serengeti or in Cincinnati Zoo. That's his habitat.
Like the people that get snatched out of fucking Jeeps while doing a tour on the Serengeti. Yeah. Can't be mad at the animal.
Yeah, so you are there. Now that child has put himself, whether he wanted to or not, the actions that child took put him into that habitat. So to me, what was the right decision? They probably made the right decision. Because yes, to us, we're humans. Human lives are going to take precedence over anything else.
Regardless of color.
Regardless of color.
Human lives matter.
Yeah, human lives matter. Regardless if it was a black ape, a white ape. Did you see yeah. There's a meme out there, and it was an albino gorilla. It says, do you think they would have shot if it was this ape? And it was a white gorilla.
White gorilla.
Come on, that's ridiculous. But anyway.
They would not have shot.
They probably would have just thrown money at it. Just like, money!
They would have given it a film and studio deal.
In degrees. Probably, here's a degree from Baylor.
Dr. Gorilla.
That's another one to go. But either way, I think ultimately the hard decision was made, and it was more than likely the right one. That's probably not the popular one. There was even people saying that they should have shot the little boy.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking person would think that that's a rational thing? Oh, shoot the kid.
We should shoot the kid.
What do you think the gorilla would have done then?
Well, now there's people calling for criminal charges to be brought against the parents for neglect. I think that is ridiculous as well. Bad shit happens, right? We have 7 billion people, trillion people. We got a fuck ton of people on this earth.
Way too many people on this earth.
Bad shit's gonna happen.
Yes.
And because it's a bad. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it was the wrong decision. They did what they needed to do. If these people that are trained thought that this kid's life was in danger, they did what they needed to do. Now, if you don't believe that those animals should be in the zoo, period, that's a whole nother discussion. But this lady and this child had a tragic day, right? Just picture as a parent, if you went and your kid fell into an animal's habitat, you would be scared shitless.
Yes.
I've turned around when my children were small at the store and they weren't standing there and I didn't see them in the next aisle, and I fucking went code at them and flipped out and my heart sank. I can't imagine how much more tragic that would be, having their lives actually be in danger.
Yeah.
And now you got all these fucking people who are animal lovers, right? That are just blasting this lady on Twitter, on the internet. She's had to change her number. She's had to kind of go into hiding because all these people are fucking going crazy on her. Well, guess what, people? She's a fucking animal too.
Yep.
And you are going out of your way to voice your dislike for this situation and ruining this person's life because they already had something bad happen to them.
Jesus.
Now, that's one of the things that frustrates me is when something bad happens, everybody feels that they have an opportunity to pile on top of that.
Especially now in today's age, how easy it is to have a voice.
Right.
Oh, any fuckstick can have a Twitter account. Look, we have one.
We do, yeah.
And
even this show that's not real has a Twitter account.
And we can say whatever we want, and anybody can look at that, and that's gospel.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Did you know that Tyler likes dick?
Tyler.
Yeah, it's true now because it's been recorded. It's going to be published. Tyler does.
No, I don't.
His rebuttal. No, I don't.
He winked.
I like me some poom poom.
Oh, he says he like, yeah, high five, boom.
There you go. I wish I had a son.
You just got to get into the.
I wish I had a son because what Tyler just said in the background was, I like poon poon. Which I don't mind if one of my kids say that, but it just doesn't have. I'm not going to high five if Mariah or Rebecca come to me and say that they love the poon poon. It just
Or if they like dick.
if they like dick. I mean, if they like dick, they like dick. They're people.
But you're not going to high five them.
Yeah, probably not. It's like, but you can do that with a son, right? Yeah. Double standards, and they're fine. They're real. Mm-hmm. When we were playing wiffle ball, I kept making a lot of. When they drew up the teams, I'm going to go back to this wiffle ball game for a second. So we drew up the teams, right? And
they were picked by two captains.
And the team captains were
my wife and your wife,
Kate and Cherie, and they're both stupid. And so you get a team that had. It was basically
the Tolmans and half the Buchanans and John.
It was the girls' team versus the guys' team. There was only two guys on my team, and then there was Kate, Alyssa, Brianna, and T. So we had 5 girls: Kate, Alyssa, Brianna, T. So we had 6 on our team.
Yeah.
4 girls and 2 guys, and you guys had 5 guys and 1 girl.
4 guys.
4 guys, and then
Tyler. Or no, Will was on your team.
Yeah, that's the 2 guys, me and Will.
Dale, John, me.
Oh yeah, Dale, John, Tyler, and myself, and then Cherie. Yeah,
and that's it.
So I would say Cherie was smart.
So I kept making comments because they kept these guys were competitive. Like when you think of family wiffle ball, like. These fuckers are throwing overhand to the girls. They're calling balls and strikes. They're sliding. They're diving. Like this was a seriously contested game of wiffle ball.
Cherie might have some irreversible damage to one of her knees.
I was like, look, guys, these are just girls. every time one of the girls, they're 12 years old, they get up there and they hit or something, and they'd get thrown out. I'd be like, no, they're safe. Come on, they're just girls. They don't know any better. Just. As misogynistic as I could be, just as just pandering as I could be to these poor girls, and we ended up losing. By the way,
it was a nice little run there in the seventh and 8th inning.
Well, that was because we quit counting their outs.
Oh, okay.
That's when I was trying to cheat the most and trying to gain sympathy for my team, but we ended up losing.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, but it was a good time. It was fun. But anyways, back to the zoo. Now,
do we need zoos?
I love zoos.
I love zoos.
I do love zoos.
I see there is a purpose for some. Like there is a zoo here on Oahu, and it's predominantly, well, I should say Sea Life Park. There is a purpose for that with nursing dolphins and other sea life animals back to life, and then they release them back to whatever.
See, I think that's where,
excuse me,
if we're going to have zoos, I think that there's probably animals that you should and should not be able to put in the zoos if it was up to me. I don't think that your large animals that have known language and families and structure and those types of things. So your gorillas, your chimpanzees, your dolphins, your whales, those things that have that because you've separated them. Now, stupid shit like snakes or...
Snakes don't matter.
Snakes don't matter.
Snakes and
lizards.
Spiders,
frogs, maybe bats.
All of those have languages.
They don't matter. They're insignificant animals.
Because they're gross looking.
But if you're going to have...
I'm not touching it.
But if you're going to have... animals, maybe they should just be because you've rehabilitated them and then you're sending them back. They shouldn't be there to stay. You know what I mean? When you talk like whales, dolphins, these have complex families and relationships and marriages and mates.
Mammals.
But not just, I guess everything I did mention was a mammal.
Yep.
Am I just?
I mean, because there is that mother-child relationship, whether the father's an asshole
Right.
or not. Because there's a lot of mammals where
Like bears and shit where the dad will come back and eat them.
Did you know dolphins do that?
Dolphins will eat.
Dolphins, because I think they're the only other mammal that'll have sex for pleasure
Yeah.
instead of just for procreation. If a female dolphin has a baby with it, it will kill the dolphin because the mother, if it has it with her, is like, no, I'm not having sex with you. I have a baby here. The male dolphin will kill the baby, and then the girl's okay. there's no
Dolphins
baby.
are
Let's have
smarter
sex.
than us.
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem? Why have a baby? Kill the baby. So what's the
All right,
problem?
So let's have sex.
Nothing. I guess we can fuck now.
And they've done that. It's like, all right, there's no, and the same female will fornicate with said male.
And look, somebody came into my house and killed my entire family and said, look, I'm gonna have sex with you. I think I would have to have sex with them. Otherwise, I'm gonna die. I mean, I already saw what could happen, right? Why not just take it?
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a girl that breaks into my house and kills my family. Wait, I mean, hopefully nobody breaks into my house and kills my family. Stupid. We've
So,
gone off the rails.
Yeah. Zoos, there's a reason there would be a good reason for them. And
Right.
a lot of reasons there's really no need for them.
But I don't think that everybody should be putting death threats against this family because something happened. I mean, they didn't plan for it. It's not like they woke up and they said, okay, Junior, go get on your fucking black turtleneck and your face paint. And we're going to insert you into the gorilla thing.
We're going to kill us a gorilla.
Yeah.
Well, how old was this kid?
4.
All right, so it's probably a safe assumption that this kid is now have some sort of post-traumatic stress event in his life.
Yeah.
He's probably going to wear diapers the rest of his life.
Might be.
Anytime he sees somebody with excessive body hair or a loud noise,
Dale.
he's going to
If-
fucking shit his pants.
If this kid saw Dale, he would
He would
shit
his
himself.
pants.
Dale wears a
Dale's man sweater.
That motherfucker's got a man sweater all the way top, back, bottom. Golly. The boy, he was 4 years old. He went to the hospital, but he was released. And the gorilla's still dead. Yeah.
Not a good story, but ultimately the child lives. So we can continue. That's one more life that will continue to kill this planet.
You know what is almost as insignificant as that last story we talked about?
The NHL playoffs.
I did not even know that they had started.
Well, the playoffs are over. We're
Or
at
no-
the final.
Oh, yeah, the finals.
The Stanley Cup finals.
Who gives up?
Well, I do. I do now. I haven't watched a second of it, but
Is your
I
team
do
still
have
in
a
it?
dog in the fight.
Your team still in it?
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals was the same time as Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. Who the fuck would do that anyway? It's like, all right, hey, we already know either one, ooh, shit, we didn't know, or it's like, nobody's going to watch us anyway.
But wait, hold on. So this is 2 tournaments. This is 2 times. How's that jalapeno doing?
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
So the Frozen Four, which is
The college.
the college hockey answer to the Final Four,
Yeah.
happens at the same time as March Madness.
It's so stupid.
So basketball trumps hockey in college.
Yes.
Then the NHL finals are at the same time as the NBA playoffs and finals. So basketball trumps hockey again. What a fucking piss poor timing. Why would you have one of your 3 major sports, 2 of them their finals at the exact same time?
So dumb.
Yeah.
But Penguins win Game 1. My San Jose Sharks are in a hole now. Firmly believe Sharks are going to win it all. Fuck the Penguins. I mean, Sharks eat Penguins, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so in the circle of life, Sharks should win
They should.
all the time. Even if they had legs.
So
They would win everything.
Okay, I got this. So gorilla beats boy, bullet beats gorilla.
Oh, man.
Is that the same kind of thing?
Because Sharks beat... No. Penguins beat Lightning.
Yep.
Sharks beat Blues music. All right.
Yeah.
We just went off the rails. Fuck it. Go Sharks. 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 Sharks.
I need you to buy me something.
I'm not buying you shit.
You should. This would be a really cool thing.
Eat
for you
that
to buy
fucking
me.
cookie and we'll talk. Oh. Eat that cookie with the top of this jalapeno and we'll talk. You fucker.
I need you to buy me Doom.
I can't. We talked about that. I can't buy Doom.
You gotta buy Doom.
If I
dude.
buy Doom, I'm not fucking playing
Tom,
Division.
I have been looking at these previews or the commercials. I've been looking at the videos on the tubes of you.
Yes?
This goddamn Doom is looking so badass. Look at Tyler's agreeing.
Yeah.
You need to go buy this game so I can borrow it. Don't be buying that goddamn digital copy. Don't be buying the goddamn digital copy. I can't steal it when I come to your house. You need to get that disc in the box so I can come over to your house and take it.
I really, really, really want to play that game,
It's Doom.
but I can't. If I do it, I know I'll be like, oh shit, and then I'll never play Division again. And Division is, like I've said time and time again, right now is the only game that has caught my eye or caught my attention for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah.
Like other games I'll play, like I think I've played a Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I think I've got an hour logged in that game.
They just dropped another big update for Fallout 4, the expansion
Yeah.
called Fear Fog Island.
Yeah.
And you go to another area. It's a second one. So there was an Automatron one where you're doing robot shit, and now this one there's a whole nother land that you sail off to with like another 30 hours of gameplay. Which they also just did with Witcher 2. They dropped the second expansion for Witcher, which added like another 20 hours of
Jesus
gameplay.
Christ.
And I wanted to get that.
I don't even think I have that many hours in Division. And I'm level 16?
I'm level 18.
I think I'm 16 now and he's 18.
Do you remember what those numbers were that when I was playing Witcher 3?
Jesus, that was ridiculous.
I
man.
put over, I think it was like 115 or 120 hours into that game.
That is ridiculous.
Awesome. I've wanted to go back and get the DLC, but I'm afraid I'll never play another game. That would be the last game I ever play.
So, speaking of that, I've heard that Grand Theft Auto GTA 5
Yep.
has put out actually I think it was this weekend another like chunk of the game, and people are still playing this game like it just released.
Well, because Grand Theft Auto Online, which is, so when they really did something weird with this. So when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, right, you have your single player that everybody's played forever and ever and ever. And it was an awesome single player game. Revolutionary, the city was awesome. It was great. Then with the hopes that Grand Theft Auto Online was going to happen. So for months after the game was out, GTA Online never opened. It wasn't there. It wasn't ready yet. Then they finally opened it, and then they were promising, hey, we're going to have these heists, which
Yeah.
the heists are the cool, like, was really cool. Like, you had to plan it out and do it with your buddies. That got delayed forever and ever and ever. It was like a year after the game came out that heist finally landed. And they continually update that. Almost every holiday weekend, they put out new packs and different things.
Yeah.
And they've continued to grow that game. If you wanted to download GTA 5 today and play it, I want to say it's somewhere close to like the 80 gig range.
Jesus Christ.
With all the updates. Yeah, it's somewhere near 80 gigs
God
for all the
damn.
updates. But a lot of those updates that are coming out are free. So you're not paying for them, which is a really cool thing, as opposed to Call of Duty. You go buy the game for $60. You might as well drop down your other 40 right then, make it a cool even 100 so that you can get the DLC, because you got to have it.
Yeah. So what leaves me with the question is, how is GTA or Rockstar making money?
Microtransactions. So in the game itself, there's actually microtransactions. You can buy more money to buy different apartments and cars and clothes and all these things. They kind of merged your console game and your microtransactions from your mobile games into one platform, and that's how they're keeping alive there. Plus, if you look, it's still one of the best-selling games out there.
Oh, it was a great game.
But I mean, it's still selling copies of it.
Oh, wow.
It hasn't slowed down. It's up on the list. And as far as all-time game sales, it's on the list as well. Matter of fact, I'll look it up if you start chatting about the next
Dang.
thingamajigger.
So this weekend, We talked about a new movie that kind of snuck up on us and was like, hey, we're opening. And that would be the third installment of the X-Men series, X-Men Apocalypse.
I did not go back and watch the first two of the newer ones. And so I did not go with you to see this particular movie. What did you think?
I thought it was fucking awesome. I mean, it was not like Civil War awesome. It wasn't like... it was better than Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah?
It wasn't Ant-Man awesome. I still think Ant-Man was better.
Okay.
But in the 3 X-Men movies, First Class, Days of Future Present, or Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse,
Right.
it was awesome. I would put it as like number 2 out of the 3, with Days of Future Present being, or Future Past being the number 1 in the series. It was really good. A lot of story, and it left you with a cliffhanger at the end of the credits, which is really, it could potentially boom for this series.
How enthralled were you with the characters and the bad guy? Like, was it like, did you buy into what was going on? Like you can,
most
like you
definitely.
very easily can with like the Avenger movies, or was it more like, nah, there's a bad guy?
The bad guy, no, the bad guy was it was brought to the forefront at the beginning of the movie. It was like, all right, boom, this is a bad motherfucker, and then it goes into some of the backstory on where some of the main characters were, and then how it brings everything back together, and then more of each person's character is told, and then like you can see where they're going with other characters' futures, and its potential.
Who was
great.
the best character on there?
Who do I think the best
Yeah.
character was on there? Probably Jean Grey, Sansa Stark. I can't remember her name.
Okay.
Her real name, but Jean Grey was they told a lot of hers and how her early part of she can't really control her powers and stuff like that, and how dangerous she could be.
Well, because
Stuff like that. Jean Grey and Xavier was awesome too.
Jean Grey. So through the X-Men movies, I mean, I watched the cartoons. I didn't read the comic. Oh, I read a few of the comic books, but I mostly watched the cartoons growing up. The Uncanny X-Men, played the games, did those types of things. So I know a little bit about that universe. I don't call myself an expert, but I know a little bit about that universe. I feel that Jean Grey, her character, has probably gotten the most disservice out of all of the X-Men.
Well, the first X-Men movies totally did her a discredit.
And that's kind of what I go. And I know that these are separate, but they are the same, right? It's the same storyline. They intertwine. They intertwine.
And I do like how they have gone back in time, which is awesome.
Built them some space to be able to create more stories.
Yep.
Kind of like the Star Trek thing. But they definitely fucked her over in those first few, the ones with Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah.
They really fucked her because she's one of the most powerful beings ever.
Ever, yeah.
And then they just buried her and gave her a weird Batman sign on top of the water as the plane flew over, a kind of a creepy voiceover, and then brought her back as a fucking, like, just mind-controlled thing of Magneto. Like, they never talked about how powerful this chick was. So are they doing her credit now here and talking about her power?
Most definitely. They're building, not to spoil the movie or anything.
No spoilers.
They are building that relationship between Jean Grey and Cyclops, which, if you follow the Deadpool story and everything, he says that in Deadpool 2, Cable will be in it. Cable is important because he is the son of Jean Grey and Cyclops. And if you do the math there, it's like, how can Deadpool and a son of these two be together? Well, there's a lot of time traveling with Cable. So a lot of adult Cable and Deadpool interaction is mostly because of Cable's time traveling.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Did you mention Colossus?
No.
Was he in the movie?
No.
So Colossus is
They couldn't. They had, since Deadpool did so well, they couldn't afford him.
They couldn't afford Colossus. Well, it might have been because he's out sucking dick.
Maybe. Oh yeah, that's right. He is the gay guy, isn't he?
Yeah. So some of the things.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it's going to lead me into my next conversation that we were going to have last week about Cap, about Captain America.
Oh,
So we were doing some research, and it seems, and I mentioned to Tom, I was like, there have been some overtly gay characters in the X-Men and in comic books, right? There's been some characters that have come out, which is fine, progressive, don't care. And I mentioned to you that Cyclops, no, not Cyclops. Colossus was gay. Mm-hmm. And you're like, that big buff iron motherfucker that bullets bounce off of and all that shit? Yeah. You're like, nah. And no, he is. In one of the stories of the X-Men, he was gay. And what was the guy's name? Like Starlight?
Yeah, Starlight and Colossus.
Starlight and Colossus were a couple. There was a couple other female couples that were together.
Mystique and somebody.
Yeah, Mystique was one of them. But she's openly bisexual, and they talked about that.
Thank God.
Another one that, but there's a big movement right now on Twitter, on the internets.
Yeah, you were talking about that, and
if you think about this, there could be some credence to this. People are calling. People are saying,
God.
and they are calling for Marvel to make Captain America and the Winter Soldier Bucky, so Steve and Bucky, a couple. Now,
that's so stupid.
I said the same thing, and I started laughing. I was like, whatever, this is so stupid. So then I started thinking about Captain America. Mm-hmm. Captain America's a great guy. I like him. I like him.
First Avenger.
He's the first Avenger. I think that his story of value and honor, and where it really talks about the morality of who they are, he's all about his country. He's dedicated. Like, the red, white, and blue flows through him above everything. When somebody has morals and values that are ingrained to the core of their being, it takes something very powerful and very special to move them off of that moral value. It's been long enough now, and we're not spoiling the movie, because if you've seen any of the commercials, you know that Captain America comes at odds with the government in this latest movie, and part of that is over Bucky.
A friendship.
Friendship. So people are saying, wait a minute, if this friendship is that strong, this guy, Captain America, has fought for New York. He has saved countless lives. He's had gorgeous women all over him. The entire country is throwing themselves at his feet, and he's a good-looking dude, but he's never with anybody.
Yeah, he is.
He was with Agent Carter, but then
Agent Carter's niece.
And then he kissed Agent Carter's niece, but it was a little awkward. I mean, it was kind of weird when it happened.
But they were, if you remember in Winter Soldier, she was lived across the way from him.
Right.
So there was always that, hey.
Yet, he turns his back on all of his friends. He turns his back on his government. He violates the law from his country to save this one man who he has this inexplicable relationship with that has traveled through time and space to bring them together, to where he is willing to throw away everything to sacrifice this friendship.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, Ed. But without spoiling the movie, there is a lot more than just that he is going up against.
Right.
He's not doing it just for Bucky. He's doing it for a belief, and hey, you make us do all this, more people die. So I am not going to be a part of this. So if you look at me as a criminal, so be it. Because I'm going to continue to do what is right and what this world needs.
Balls just right on his chin.
Stupid, man.
Now,
that is so dumb.
My question is this.
Steve Rogers is not gay.
What if he is?
What if he
is?
Great, still awesome. Still an amazing superhero.
Does he continue to sell and be... could they take a character like that, who has his own franchise that drives this captain, the Avengers story forward, is such a dominant role? If Marvel decided to put him in a relationship with Bucky and make them a couple, how do you think that people would react, and do you think that it would continue to be, or do you think that would bury that movie?
30 years ago, it's done. Mm-hmm. They do it, you'll never hear Captain America's name ever again. Nowadays, I think it would be more acceptable, but I still think it would take a hit.
And you think it would still take a hit? Mm-hmm. I think it would. I think that. I mean, really, who are you?
I mean, because that would be such a small part of the story,
Right.
Because it's not like it's going to go into this next Avengers movie is going to be a love story.
Right.
No, it's not going to be.
They would have to do it like they're all plotting to go somewhere, right? And then it's like
We're going to split up.
we're gonna split up, and he just gives him a kiss and he goes, and everybody's like, oh, they're together, and they would just have to just like oh yeah, they're together.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, obviously, and not make it a big deal. I think if they just didn't make it a big deal, I think that they might be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
Because then it's just like, oh, that is, as opposed to that being the plot.
Yeah.
Like if they made a whole Captain America movie about
Like
him
a
coming
love
out,
story, yeah.
and like their hidden love behind that, fucking no way.
Yeah.
But if they made an action movie that they happened to just like dock for a second before they took off, like I think people might still tune in.
So, yeah.
Back to just real quick. Back to Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, okay.
If you had to venture a guess, when they say a successful game sells like 1 million copies in the first week, that's a successful game.
Okay.
So Grand Theft Auto 5 has, as of 18 May 2016, so very recently,
Less than 2 weeks.
less than 2 weeks ago, the game had shipped over 65 million copies across all platforms.
Jesus Christ.
This thing is just, and this thing launched
About 2 years ago.
within 24 hours of its release. It generated $800 million worldwide and 11.2 million copies sold. Fuck. And since then has gone on to sell another 54 million.
Because this game came out
55
before the
million.
Xbox One.
Yeah, this came out on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360
Yeah.
and PC.
God damn, that's a good game.
Yeah.
I would say congratulations, Rockstar, or they already know this?
And depending on where you go to try to buy this game, it's still $39 to $49.
Jesus.
So it's not like it's dropped. Where you have games like Battleborn, which we talked about it a few weeks ago. Overwatch is the one that just came out. Battleborn was right before that, and that's the one that kind of has that shell-shaded, kind of cartoony. I
Kind of
played
like
the beta.
Borderlands.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
Overwatch is the good one.
Battleborn.
Battleborn is the bad one. But anyways, the Battleborn one has already dropped down to $39. They've already cut 20% or $20 off of it, and you can find it on sale.
That's probably not a success.
Here's a game that launched in 2013 that you still pay almost full price for.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for Doom to drop down to that $39 before I get that motherfucker.
Yeah, you might be waiting a while.
I think because it's only a single player, I think that
There is absolutely no multiplayer.
There is a multiplayer, but the multiplayer has gotten pretty bad reviews.
Oh,
but the
shit.
single player, they say, is the
So
shit.
they must have put all their money into graphics and
Well, and one of the things that they did was that there's no cutscenes, not a whole lot of story. Just you wake up, grab a gun, and fucking start killing.
really, because the story is what kind of brings me into the shit.
Not on Doom. It's
Huh.
just I think basically you were frozen. You get woke up, you find a shotgun, and you start fucking murdering people. That's about it. And one of the cool things is, I don't know if you remember, like Call of Duty, you get your primary and your secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Doom, you used to have 1 through 9 on the computer because that's where you used to play it. So you got once you got a gun, you kept it for the entire game, and then certain enemies you'd have to use certain guns for.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing now. This goes back to every time you pick up a gun, now it's your gun for the entire game. You don't have to choose. So you're going to get that full regimen. I'm really looking forward to that game, man. It looks awesome.
Then you should buy it.
I can't justify it, man.
Justify buying a $60 game that you really want.
I can't.
Are you a grown man?
I am. I got other things I'm supposed to be doing with my cash right now.
Like,
Well, we got like two trips to Washington planned for this summer, so
that's right.
That might be a dinner.
2
out.
trips.
Well, yeah, because I'm going to go back home again for my dad's retirement in August. So we're going home in July for the class reunion.
I didn't know you were going back in August.
And then in
When
August,
in August?
that trip is just me.
Yeah, we'll win in August.
The 12th through the 15th.
Oh, never mind. I was thinking draft.
Oh.
My bad.
No.
I was a month ahead of you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So-
Or I was thinking a month ahead of the draft.
My
Sorry, my bad.
dad's retiring from the company he's worked at since he turned 18 years old.
And he mentioned that when he was on the
Yeah.
podcast.
So
That is awesome. Congratulations, Tucker.
big buck, tuck, motherfuck, suck nut. That's my dad.
Eat me, eat me, eat me. That's how I do my mic checks.
Because of him. Eat me, eat me, eat me. When they get back out here, we'll get them on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking on the show.
I really hope next time he comes out here, I get to spend more time with him. Because I only got to spend the Pro Bowl, which was awesome. Spending the Pro Bowl with him, and then the show.
And that was it.
That was the only time I got to spend with your dad and Kelly.
Time well spent.
Yeah, I was traveling a lot during that time.
There was things to be had. You're traveling again this weekend, I understand.
I get to go to
This
the
week?
Big Island
You get
on
to go over there.
Thursday.
Go over and get some Kona coffee.
Oh yeah,
You guys are talking about opening that new coffee plant over there.
I hope so.
So maybe the new factory will take off over there.
Yeah,
Let's see what button. I'm feeling like hitting a button.
pick one.
Let's see. You want to do the Seacock?
Seacock
presents
You can't wait.
Tyler's looking at us like a couple of morons.
Circle.
Of criticism. See, it's a lot cooler, Tyler, when we can hear stuff. He's like, you guys are fucking morons. So this week we picked a movie. It was called Bounty Killers.
Spun the goddamn wheel. We got action,
We did.
and you picked Bounty Killer.
Bounty Killers. Hot chick on the front, 2 guns.
You
and-
had like what 17 stars, and I had a half of one, something like that.
And I got about an hour, 45 minutes into this movie. And then every time I tried to restart it, I would get interrupted. And then I tried to redo it again today to be like a good steward of the show. And Becca and Alyssa were down there, which, like, okay, whatever. I hit play. Guy in bed, 4 tits pop up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I had to shut it off. So I did not get a chance to fully watch this movie. However, I will tell you what I did see, I was enjoying.
It was enjoyable.
Okay.
An absolute shit acting. If you wanted to see good acting, not the movie, but it was funny. Action, lots of action, and lots of gore.
Right.
So
it was definitely
very,
bloody.
very gory movie, and it was pretty good. Pretty good.
So I like the idea of, okay, in the future, almost
Almost like a Mad Maxi-ish.
Mad Max meets the Running Man.
Yes.
Yes. And so these bounty hunters were like celebrities, and they would go down and they would hunt down white-collar criminals, because basically the world has ended. The world that we know has ended. Governments have collapsed, and corporations have stepped up, and corporations have gone to war and pretty much destroyed the earth. So
Basically,
now,
like Google and Bing and eBay and Amazon all fighting each other.
right.
Yeah.
And so then now there's warrants that are put out on these white collar criminals to be brought into custody and to be held accountable for their crimes. Which, one of the great things that I thought about the early parts of this movie was when they go hunt white collar criminals, they're actually wearing white collars, which is awesome. So they're partying in these dingy places, and they got their fucking collars popped, and they got their ties on, and they're doing their thing. So after that, I lost out, but.
So it goes into the story of how Mary Death comes to find out she was a gypsy named Nuri, and now the gypsies are trying to get Nuri back because gypsies don't like losing one of their own.
Now, tell me, when she came in dressed up like the gypsy with the face paint on and jumped on top of that dude, was that not pretty fucking sexy?
I was like, why did she change?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like she changed into something ugly.
I mean, no, she was still hot, but
Yeah.
something about that face paint and the ponytail.
It was pretty fucking sweet. So Mary Death running from the gypsies. This probably has been an ongoing thing. For some reason, it's just now brought to Francis.
The other guy.
Yeah, the main guy, Gorman. Gorman?
Yeah.
Whatever his name, Frank Gorman. Yeah, Frank Gorman, Francis Gorman, something like that. Now it's just brought to his attention. Oh, I didn't know. Really? You didn't know? But now, yeah. So running from the gypsies. Gypsies wants her back, all this stuff. And now they're trying to get back to the Council of Nine so they can just, hey, but yeah, I forgot to say that Francis Gorman was now a hit. A contract has been put on a bounty killer, one of the best bounty killers of all time.
So this is like a hit was just put on Kobe.
Exactly. And Kobe's like, what the fuck? Yeah. So now he's like, the only way I can get out of this is by talking to the council.
But if you go to the council, you're immediately going to be killed. They're going to kill you.
He's like, but I have a plan. Get there, everyone's dead. So there's no council to talk to. So then all of a sudden, Gary Busey shows up.
Which I did. So I did see a little bit more because I did get some Gary Busey, which made me extremely happy because we did not know he was in this movie.
No, he didn't.
That would have immediately made this the choice. There would have been no debate.
Yeah, so Gary Busey, he has a very small role in this movie.
Important but small.
But important, but yeah, small. And he ends up being like the the right-hand man for the white-collared figurehead for Sun City. I think it was called Sun City was the corporation. They all had the yellow ties. White collars, yellow ties. That's how you could tell Sun City. So come to find out, that Sun City had killed everybody in the council. So they were like the end-all, be-all. They were going to rule the world. Come to find out, head bounty killer, we'll call him Frank.
Frank Drummond.
There you go. Used to sleep with that white collar when Frank Gorman used to run his own company that built airplanes. And well, then his airplanes were dropping bombs on countries, and then that's how the contract was generated for him. They found out, hey,
he was part of the
you were part of the white collared group, and yeah, so then all is well. Everything is back to
So this movie has gore. This movie has tits. This movie has action.
Lots.
And Gary Busey. How is this movie not great?
Because Danny Trejo's not in it.
Because Danny T isn't there. Where would you have put Danny T in this movie?
I would have made him Frank.
Made him the main bounty killer?
Yeah.
That definitely could have been it.
Oh, yeah.
That definitely could have been it.
Or make him the gun caddy.
Yeah, no.
Because then
you couldn't have had.
No, you can't make him play second fiddle.
No, Danny's the man, and if he's not the man, if he's not the star of that movie, it's like he's the star of another movie that just happens to be filming at the same time that just overlaps. You just happen to get the star of another movie in your movie.
Yeah.
And if you decided to whack him or something early on, that was your loss, but he's still the star. You don't overshadow Danny T.
Not at all.
So overall, would you give this movie?
I would give it 3.5 stars.
Did you go back and rate it?
Yes, I did.
Did you? And would you give it 3?
3.5 stars. I had 2.25. I gave it 3.5.
Can you bump it up by quarters or whatever?
No, I think it would. No, I just gave it 3 stars.
You
My
gave it
bad.
3 stars.
I wanted to give it a half, but I didn't want to give it a full 4.
Okay.
So
before I want to break from tradition here for this next week's movie. There's a movie I want to watch.
Okay.
I want to watch this movie, and if we spin and we find that we get another genre and we don't choose this movie, I'm afraid that I'm not going to have time to watch the movie that we choose and the movie I'm going to watch. So I just want to make the movie that I'm going to watch our movie this week, and I think that you will appreciate it, and the viewers and listeners would also appreciate this particular movie.
Yes.
So the movie I'm going to propose is, I mean, if you want to spin, we can make the sounds and then just...
No, I like where you're going.
Okay. So, The Do-Over. The Do-Over is a movie that is new on Netflix. It's got Adam Sandler and David Spade.
Yes.
And some other chick.
You've sold me with the Adam Sandler and David Spade.
Done.
Yeah.
Something unique about this one. Adam Sandler signed a deal with Netflix a while ago, I think for either 4 or 6 movies. I think it was 4 movies. He
This
said,
would be number 2, right?
this would be number 2. They did the Ridiculous 6 and this one. Ridiculous 6 was awesome.
I loved it.
I'm hoping that this one is as good.
Yeah.
And so if you're okay with it, I would like to propose The Do-Over as this week's movie.
Let's do it. The
Boom.
do-over.
Here we go.
I think
You can keep talking anytime.
2 down on their luck guys decide to fake their own deaths and start over with new identities, only to find the people they're pretending to be are in deeper trouble.
Something I thought was unique about this was it is a Netflix original. Came out directly on a Netflix. No movie theater, no nothing. Yet there was commercials for it on regular television.
Yeah. Do I dare tell you the Metacritic score?
Yeah.
22
Ooh. Out of 100.
out of 100.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
What are the people saying?
Popularity gives it 5.9 out of 10.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
Well, this is right up your alley, though, right?
Yeah.
So the
Piss poor ratings and
brothers
bad people.
Grimsley have 6.4. I haven't seen that one, but I heard that one's pretty good.
Brothers Grimsley.
That's the one where with Sacha Cohen
Huh, I don't know that one.
and where they're the
That's
Irish
Borat, right?
Irish brothers. I think they're Irish brothers, and they get split up. One's a CIA agent, and he just stays a hooligan that loves soccer and drinks beer, and he has to go find his brother, and they get all sorts of
Huh.
CIA issues.
Where's that at? What's that on?
I don't think it's on
thing?
Netflix.
Is it new?
Kinda. Yeah, it came
Like-
out this year, 2016.
Huh.
I don't think it's on Netflix, but it
Like a
was
movie
it
theater
was,
new?
yeah, like it was out probably 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Oh, so we should be seeing it come home soon.
Yeah, so it was one of the. If you like the do-over, you'd like the Brothers Grimsley.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll check it out.
Grimsby.
Grimsby?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't care. I usually don't really like ratings
Shit that
without
I say.
watching. I don't like anything you say. The ratings that IMDb or Netflix or anything you say, I like to make my own opinion. So a lot of times the ratings that we look at here, and
Right.
I've got like half a star or 2 stars. They're almost on point, but a lot of times they have missed the mark completely.
Well, I'm usually a fan of Metacritic and IMDb,
Yeah.
and they generally steer me right. So to see such piss poor on there, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah.
But it's Adam Sandler and David Spade. In their heyday, I watched Black Sheep this weekend
That's a great one.
with me, Kate, and Beck. Fucking great movie. And to be able to capture some of that David Spade or the Tommy Boy David Spade would be awesome. And then put him with some like good old fashioned like maybe Big Daddy meets what's the one where he did the fish and he was always walking around naked and he was always fucking Adam Sandler and he was like the Israeli spy.
Oh, don't mess with the Zohan.
Yeah, I want some Zohan and Big Daddy mixed together and some Tommy Boy Black Sheep David Spade.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, these ratings say that's not what we're going to get, but hopefully they're wrong.
All right, well, let's get out of this cock.
Yes. What? The Ed and Tom Show presents
The Cinematic Circle of Criticism.
Good news
Good news.
after last week.
Last week.
We got word that one of our listeners, Chano Polano Cruz,
Palino.
Cruz, had been fired and was no longer working in the bustling holster business down there in Tennessee. So we tried to find him a job. We decided that we were going to stop doing PSAs until we find Chano a job. So we decided to take a look at what he's best at and go down that avenue and try to, do our part here on the show to advertise him, to kind of be his headhunter, to go out and find him a career. And so last week we talked about what he was good at by nature, which would be agriculture, being one of our browner listeners. And it worked out well. We actually, did you see on Twitter, he had job offers.
Yeah.
He had several job offers. Unfortunately, he was not able to
Travel.
and do. No. He wasn't able to. He just didn't work out in those jobs.
Oh.
So we're back at it this week, tirelessly, trying to put out another bit to try to get Chano a gig.
Yeah.
And so
What do we say? That don't let problems get you down?
let Chano be your brown. So we didn't do the greatest rehearsal on this one, so we'll see how it goes. But you got you're good in there, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's just go with this. So this is in the Ed and Tom show, our attempts to get Chano a job. We have decided to again talk about one of his other strengths this week. So let's go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, hurry, hurry. Step right up. Get your tickets here. Hurry, hurry. Step right up.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of year again. Carnivals and fairs are setting up in parking lots and county fields all across this great nation. As we approach the celebration of this nation's great birth in the next few months, millions and millions of dollars will be spent at carnival rides and midway games all across this great coast. Kids of every creed and color will walk away with cotton candy, a giant banana with dreadlocks, and a goldfish in a Ziploc bag.
Now that's a fish destined to live a long life.
Either way, there's lots of fun to be had and memories to make. All of this is made possible through the hard work and dedication of the faceless individuals that work tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that carnivals don't damage their sterling reputation and safety record.
That's a joke.
Those faceless and forgetful members of the inner workings of a carnival are the lifeblood of the carnival industry. Without these strong, questionably American workers staying diligent and well-trained to keep the system running smoothly, America would lose part of its culture and history. One of the most well-known facts about carnivals is their high standards for hiring of their workforce. The stringent background checks eliminate at least 1% of all applicants.
At least.
But what do you do if you're a ringmaster of a 3-ring circus, trying to keep the wheels of the clown car turning day to day, facing such tough odds and undaunting expectations for excellence? Don't let circus blues get you down. Let Chano be your clown. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Chano is a highly skilled and trained carnival worker. It's in his blood. His people have been doing the manual labor of carnival and circuses for generations. Did I say manual? I meant manuel labor of carnival and circuses for generations. In the American circus lingo, he is what is known as a Tennessee baked bean clown. That's a brown clown for those that aren't keeping up. They're some of the most sought-after workers on the circus and carnival routes across America. Chano has traveled from coast to coast perfecting his act and shenanigans. Last year, Chano the brown clown got the clap.
Oh, no.
That's the clown actor's promotion.
Oh, yay.
To brown clown journeyman.
Yay.
For the uninitiated, that's really good. He's like the Rain Man of bendy balloons. Do you have a child's party that needs to turn a frown upside down? Well, Chano is your clown to have around. Just because he's not allowed within 1,000 feet of a school or church doesn't mean you can't work out a deal under the table. Relax, he's not planning on reporting this to the IRS or even pay his taxes. Easy, no hassle, friendly, and reliable. If you want to make memories for your kids, just hire Chano, and his years of experience will make it a day that your kids will never forget. Just ask this satisfied child.
I remember like it was yesterday. The dirty brown clown made me go in the closet and and he touched me.
Are you okay, son?
No, not really. But my mommy wasn't there to make the bad clown stop.
All right, just point to on this doll where the clown touched you. Whoa.
Unfortunately, we can't. Unfortunately, we can't show his face because he's a minor. But I'll tell you what, that child will never forget that day. Never. So if you have a special day, event, or small circus that you're trying to run out of a U-Haul or an old ice cream truck, then look no farther than this guy. Chano has recently found himself unemployed after a small investigation into his background and border crossing. He is now available for you to hire. What a lucky time to be an American. So don't hesitate. Call today before he's no longer available. Act fast, bookings are limited, and cost is high, not only to your pocket, but to the health of your child. Brought to you by the people at the campaign to keep Chano Polano Cruz employed. Chano is no way endorses or supports this ad in any way. He has said, and I quote, "Do not use my name or I will sue you." He probably didn't mean it, so I'm moving on. The political views of Chano's racism do not reflect the Puritan views of the Ed and Tom Show, our parent company, Gnome Productions. All rights reserved, copyright 2016.
So I'm just, for the record, Tyler, just be a man and repress those feelings. Just forget about them.
You got to take that. Uncle Chano was wearing his face paint that day, but he was doing that for you.
That was Chano?
That was Uncle Chano, buddy. He's never been the same.
Oh boy, you got some splaining to do, brown clown.
Yeah, so
Well, hopefully this gets the creative juices flowing again.
Right.
I mean, he was in a dark place back then. Maybe this will open up some new avenues. I mean, he is a journeyman now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Once you get the clap and you get that kind of attention, your life just doesn't slow down from there.
No, he's just going to run with it.
You obviously had to be doing things right to get that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't stumble across you.
Nobody ever got the clap and regretted it.
No. Nobody. Just firing right up. It might hurt a little bit, because you have to go through so much.
Long hours and pain and suffering.
But once your tolerance is there and you're able to dedicate yourself to your craft, you become the champion that this man is, the people's champ.
Yeah.
As far as clowns go.
The brown clap clown.
Yeah, so if you are out there and you have a child's party or something coming up, do Chano a favor, hire him. He's at home right now, sitting there just right by the phone, waiting for it to happen. Next week, I need to set up his email address and get it on the show here so that way people can actually start emailing him. Twitter is a great way to reach out to him if you want to offer him a job or something. Mm-hmm. You can do that in any area or industry that you think that he may be beneficial for. That his culture and his people have excelled over generations. Then shoot it out to us and let us know, and we'll try to get him lined up with you and see if we can get him employed.
Oh, definitely. Because we're just here to help people, and a close friend of ours.
Right, we care about people. And children.
And all that stuff may or may not be used in a
court of law. That was the official. That is the official pointing doll of the Ed and Tom Show.
We have what was his name?
Not Daryl.
Shit, Tyler. What was this guy's
It was
name? Tyrese. Tyrese from The Walking Dead is our courtroom. Where did the bad man touch you doll?
And just so people know, we're not racist here at the Ed and Tom Show. I mean, we don't see color. We even used a black doll to illustrate where the guy touched the white child. Mm-hmm. We're indiscriminate. Mm-hmm. So stay with us, Chano. Good luck to you. Hope that you get some more job offers. You get something going in your life there, buddy. I don't want you just to live that dead end life.
Don't let problems get you down. Let Chano be your brown clown.
There you go. Well, listen, man. I know that we've had a long week.
We did not get any TNA questions this week.
We didn't get any TNA questions.
I love that drop too, though.
And because of the TNA questions we didn't get, you had to eat a goddamn jalapeno.
I had to eat a fucking jalapeno.
The people let you down.
So, if we don't get... Is that now a thing? If we don't get TNA questions? No, because then people won't send us questions. They'll want to see me eat shit.
Dude, that would be awesome. I think that this goes back to what we talked about. We did get the acceptance of a Madden challenge for you Brent said that he would be challenging you to Madden when he
gets
arrives.
here. Okay, last time we played, he beat me too.
Right.
I was pretty hammered though.
So he's gonna come. So we got a Madden challenge. But I think that maybe some of these types of fiery challenges or
It
things.
wasn't. I mean, it was horrible, and it's been. I think I've been doing a pretty good job of holding it in.
You have, yeah.
But I think the worst is yet to come.
Yeah, I feel no jealousy thinking about your asshole tomorrow.
And no remorse.
This
either, huh?
this is like the first time I've never wanted to stick it in your butt. Your son is here listening to this.
That is so gross.
But I do want to talk about one more thing before we go, because I think it's been great. I think it takes a lot of effort, and I think that it's only fair to discuss the countdown that Brent has started to him coming and visiting us here at the Ed and Tom Show in Oahu.
Yeah. So he uses Seattle Seahawks jerseys or players wearing jerseys and whatever number it is. And he started it off with Cam Chancellor. So from his 31-day countdown, he's been flooding our Twitter feed with Seattle Seahawk picture jerseys.
Thank you.
Reminding us how many days until he gets here on Oahu.
Thank you so much.
Today I got to see
25 days.
Number 25, Sherman, tipping the ball away from Crabtree in the last NFC Championship game that the Niners and Seahawks played against each other.
What is great about this is not only is he posting Seahawks players, but then in retaliation, you turn around and you post 49er players wearing the same numbers, so that way, because obviously you're excited for him to get here, so you're counting down as well.
Yeah, I just prefer to look at my picture instead of his.
I do have to say, though, after I saw the Richard Sherman one, which we knew that that's what it was going to be.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, there was no fucking question.
And the Cam Chancellor one blasting, that was a great opener for him. And
Right.
you Seattle Seahawks fans, is like, God damn.
So you have to appreciate that. But what a unique way to constantly. But it also takes dedication, because now you've bitten off on, for 31 days, I'm going to do this. And he's been with it every single day. So congratulations to you. Thank you for that. It makes my day every time I go in there and see there. One, not only are we getting excited for you and your lovely family to come, but also to get to see my great Seahawks, our great Seahawks, doing something every single day.
Fuck that. That was gay. That was very, very. I mean, you said that like there was nothing in your mouth, but the whole time there was a Brent Alexandria cock in your mouth.
We're just looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. I'm sorry.
Fuck the Seahawks.
I was dreaming about a
Niners.
cock. So that's all we have for this week. That's it. The whole show, the whole shebangy bang, is done there. Try to employ Chano.
Happy Memorial Day, man.
Memorial Day. What did you remember mostly today?
Well, try not to remember it, but today is the day to remember it. Is some of those people that we have lost, that we served with, and the guys that came before us, and all that. So, family. I didn't have anybody in my family that I know of that died in war, but I have a lot of veterans in my family that have passed on and that are currently alive, but that's not what it's for. It's for those that have given their lives during war. And the amount of people that don't know that is very disturbing. I reposted a video on Facebook today. One of my friends had posted, and it was a guy going around interviewing people, asking them what Memorial Day meant to them. And it was just sickening. People, it's a day for me to get drunk. I don't know. And then he was like kind of like coercing them and was like, oh, hey, so today is the day that we are celebrating our nation's birthday. How do you feel about Memorial Day here in May 30th, where we're celebrating our nation's birthday? And they're like, oh, it's such a great day, blah, blah, blah. So that's like, really? 4th of July? Now that means you don't even know what 4th of July is.
So I wonder about... Leno used to do that all the time, right? The people on the street, and he'd ask them, who's the first president? And they'd be like, Clinton. Or, they'd always... I wonder how much of that's staged, or How many fucking people do you have to ask before you actually start getting those stupid questions? Mm-hmm. Or are there that many retarded motherfuckers walking around on the streets every day, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time to collect these fucking retards?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you got a camera, you're trying to prove a point. You're going to select who you want in these videos, and
they probably play along.
Oh yeah, and there was a great number where you could tell, like it was like they had no clue.
Yeah,
no clue. And then the one old white guy they ask, he's like, "So how are you celebrating? So how are you celebrating this day that we signed the Declaration of Independence on Memorial Day?" He's like, "We don't. That's not what we're celebrating today." He's like, "Oh, we're not. It's Memorial Day," and he went out. He was getting ready to go off on a spiel, and that's how it ended. So the very last guy was the only guy who got it. So
that one.
I'm sure the video was steered in a certain direction, but if half of those were true, it's still sick.
Right.
Still sick. And it's just, I really hope people could really take in for what this holiday is supposed to mean. So we can sit here in our house and say the things that we want to say on a microphone unfiltered.
That's deep, man. Mm-hmm. That's probably the deepest I've heard you get on this show. that was touching. That was good stuff, man. I appreciate that. Cool. I'm going to choose to remember Harambe. Harambe was the gorilla that was shot in the Cincinnati Zoo, trying to protect that child. That's what I'm going to choose to remember on Memorial Day. Harambe. So, the same basic sentiment as what you were saying. Yeah. Just, I put it, instead of just making it generic and meaningless like you did, I put a name to it. I put a name and a face to what I remember on this day. So there's that. All right, man. You got anything else you want to say? Tyler, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
What up, cuz? Follow me on IG, Tyler_Tolman.
All right, IG, Tyler_Tolman. We got the Ed and Tom Show at the Ed and Tom Show on Twitter, the Ed and Tom Show at Gmail, the edandtomshow.com, the Ed and Tom Show on Facebook. Every fucking place you want to be, the Ed and goddamn Tom Show is there waiting with open arms.
And I'm Tommy T.
I'm Eddie Rock.
I'm Tyler.
What? That's Tyler, and we got the bitch at our feet, and we out.
You are listening to The Ed and Tom Show.
This was
Spoiler
episode
alert.
26.
Maybe, oh yeah, 2-6, baby.
2-6.
Maybe, Tyler, just get right up there in the middle and dance. You can just dance us out, baby.
Running Man Challenge.
Yeah.
Nothing's showing up on the Google.
That is not the Running Man.
This is what we deal with.
Don't pester me right now. This is why you're a fucking asshole.
Drugs, alcohol, and domestic violence.
Stress is bad. Goddamn cancer cans.
The Ed and Tom Show.
I know you loved him a long time ago. Even now in my heart, you still want him, I know. But darling, this time your memories die when you hold me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Let it be me. Don't pretend it's him in some fantasy. Darling, just once, let yesterday go. You'll find more love Maybe I've been a fool, holding on all this time, lying here in your arms, knowing he's in your mind. But I keep hoping someday you'll see the light. Let it be me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Let it be me. Don't pretend it's him in some fantasy. Darling, just once, let yesterday go. You'll find more love than you've ever known. Just hold me tight when you love me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Let it be me. Don't pretend it's him in some fantasy. Darling, just once, let yesterday go. You'll find more love than you've ever known. Just hold me tight when you love me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Just hold me tight when you love me tonight. Don't